You don't lose civilization all at once. You lose it in pieces, and the first piece is your assumptions. You wake up expecting the lights to flicker back on, your phone to buzz, someone official to explain what's happening. That expectation is what gets people hurt in the first 72 hours. Because collapse doesn't announce itself. It arrives quietly, then suddenly everything you relied on stops responding, and you realize how fragile your normal actually was. Here's the thing nobody prepares you for. The danger in the first 3 days isn't starvation, radiation, or some movie-style chaos. It's confusion. Human brains are wired to wait for patterns to return. When the grid goes down, when communications vanish, most people burn the most valuable resource they have, time, doing nothing useful. They sit, they scroll dead screens, they drive around wasting fuel. They assume help is coming. From a survival psychology standpoint, this is called normalcy bias, and it's responsible for more deaths and disasters than any single physical threat. Your brain fights the idea that the world has changed, even when the evidence is screaming at you. Within the first 24 hours, infrastructure doesn't fail, it unravels. Water pressure drops not because the water is gone, but because electric pumps are offline. Toilets still flush for a bit, which tricks people into thinking sanitation is fine, right up until sewage backs up and contamination begins. This is where physics quietly turns against you. Water systems rely on pressure differentials and powered control valves. Once those stop regulating flow, bacteria spreads fast, especially in warm environments. That's why experienced responders immediately isolate their water source, even before food. Dehydration doesn't kill you in a day, but bad water can end you in hours. By day 2, human behavior becomes the threat multiplier. Not everyone turns violent, but uncertainty amplifies bad decisions. Crowds form around rumors, gas stations, stores. Someone heard the power's coming back here. Crowds mean friction, and friction means conflict. The survival insight most people miss is that visibility equals vulnerability. The more you move publicly in the early phase, the more you're cataloged by others as either a resource or a target. Militaries understand this instinctively. It's why movement discipline exists. Staying put, staying quiet, and reducing your signature isn't fear, it's math. Sleep deprivation hits harder than hunger, and almost no one plans for it. Your body under stress burns through glucose faster, cortisol stays elevated, and decision-making degrades rapidly. By the second night, people start making choices they wouldn't normally make, wandering, confronting strangers, abandoning shelter. From a biological standpoint, this is predictable. The prefrontal cortex loses control under sustained stress and lack of rest, handing the wheel to impulse. The survivors who last aren't tougher. They're calmer. They protect sleep like a resource because cognition is survival. Food mistakes show up fast, too. People either eat everything immediately out of panic or refuse to eat, trying to save it. And both approaches backfire. Your metabolism under stress needs consistency, not extremes. Small regular intake stabilizes blood sugar and mood, which directly affects judgment. This is basic physiology, not prepper folklore. In field conditions, rations are designed around maintaining function, not comfort, and the same principle applies here. This section is based on practical field survival experience rather than formal academic sources. By hour 48, the soundscape changes. Fewer engines, fewer voices, more distant noises you can't place. Silence feels safe, but it's deceptive. Quiet environments carry sound farther, which means your actions echo more than you think. A dropped tool, a slammed door, even raised voices can travel blocks. This is why experienced survivors modify behavior, not just gear. Soft steps, controlled movements, deliberate actions. You don't need paranoia, you need awareness. The third day is where reality sets in for those still in denial. Trash accumulates, smells change, and small injuries start to matter. A cut that would have been ignored last week is now a liability. Without clean water and antiseptics, infection risk rises sharply. The science is brutal and boring. Bacteria don't care about your optimism. This is why injury prevention becomes more important than heroics. The goal is not to be brave, it's to remain uninjured. What no one tells you is that the first 72 hours aren't about building, fighting, or escaping. They're about subtracting. Fewer movements, fewer assumptions, fewer risks. Every unnecessary action is a tax on your future self. The people who survive early collapse aren't the ones with the biggest plans. They're the ones who adapt fastest to the idea that the rules have already changed. If you understand this window, really understand,